I know. I was like,
very rude.
Press the button before the questions even asked and everything. I hope you got your answer. But welcome to another episode of a gaming podcast, episode 79, super episode with Super Nintendo. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Been on camera all day, so this is you're getting the really kind of just filters gone, Steve, today. So get ready for some rants. Yeah, no, I'm good. It's I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today. It's gonna be great.
Awesome, and then Nintendo Steve too.
I could not be happier to be here. Not Christmas Day. Talk about Switch, and we love when a plan works out. The timing all works out. Moments before jumping on this, McDonald's showed up with the actual bag.
Nether
flame sauce.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So,
what toy did you get?
I got
the
burger.
Yes.
Big Mac here. So I figured why not do a little taste test here?
Wait,
go for it. Yeah, let's do it.
McDonald's is on its way with my toy.
No, really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's on its way.
Yo,
okay.
If you get Grimace, can I have the code?
Yes.
No. It's not even mine. And I'm like, no.
Steve walked it in. Thank you.
Man,
Yes,
I was gonna Uber it, but I'm just like, I don't want to make someone drive.
Oh, you got the bird.
I got the bird. Yeah.
Birdie.
Looks like with the wings too. The Minecraft wing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, I got it yesterday.
For this, Sammy.
I'm hunting for Grimace.
I want Grimace so bad.
I want him in the game. I need Grimace. I've been my whole life. I've been looking for Grimace in my life. I need this to happen.
Promotion started yesterday. You're like,
I'm at my wit's end trying to find Grimace.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I want to go on a McDonald's hunt for the next couple of days, but I kind of want to.
Let's do it. What else you got going on in the weekend?
I need Grimace.
I mean,
nothing.
If y'all want to go for it, I'll go for it.
If you have to keep it going, especially it's already 10 times better than the Wendy's SpongeBob collab. So
yes. Oh my god, that was terrible.
I said hot garbage, but Riley, you're not hot garbage. What's going on,
bro? Thank you.
Not much. Lie
yes.
to him. It's okay.
Oh my gosh, no one flagged Camille into this, but I don't know why she's talking. So anyway, crazy day, super exciting. I've been just glued to my computer all day, so I'm glad I was able to break away to do the podcast. But lots to talk about.
But you're still on a computer. What?
He froze.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Can we replace Riley with Caboose?
Where is Caboose?
They're all both on the same show.
Yeah, they don't have to be at the same time.
You didn't think that one through, eh?
Wow, that's.
Oh yeah, they're on the same show. Yeah,
on the same show.
All right, that's fine. No, it's been a busy day. I've been working nonstop, so I'm glad I was able to break away from work to.
Hey man, me too. I'm glad you're here.
Too.
Hey man,
me too. Yeah.
Stop lying, you guys. I know everything you talk about Riley when he's not here. It's okay.
Camille, you're not supposed to say anything about that.
Oh.
No, you need to wait your turn because it's Sammy's turn. Sammy, how are you doing?
I'm surviving, man. I drove through the blizzard today.
Oh yeah, fuck the blizzard. Damn,
it's crazy.
Pile up. So I'm just driving
like
there, doing 5 kilometers an hour, and I'm like, no one hit me, no one hit me, no one hit me. But
were you up in these parts?
I was actually in Newmarket, so drove.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah.
What usually took me 25 minutes took me an hour, so that was fun.
Ouch.
Well,
glad you're here, safe.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I still got to watch some cool things this morning that I know everyone else watched. So excited to talk about that in a second.
Very excited. So we should start the Switch to. I'm joking. Camille, how are you doing?
I'm good. I had a great morning with my pal.
We should replace her with Caboose. That was humiliating. You hear that fumble? That was terrible. Oh my god.
Roll it back.
At least I don't have to steal other people's jokes. But
what joke did I steal?
We should replace. Oh my god. Okay, no.
Oh, I ran it back. Well, that's the point.
You didn't run it back. That was
I ran it back.
That's a callback.
If you,
it's called a callback.
Callback. Yeah.
Camille
just failed you.
You guys act like if you're
roll it back. If
you didn't fail me, I'm not a boat.
You're in high school, right? You guys act like you're in high school. Right,
I had a
Riley?
good morning with my pal Steve as we streamed the direct together. We reacted together. My computer almost blew up while we were on together.
I was noticed that. It was like all of a sudden you just disappeared.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, what? What is going on?
Explore that one too.
But yeah, no, it's been.
No, it's true. Stream together. We don't want to talk
Yeah,
about that.
But yeah, I had my I have my McDonald's coming with my Minecraft gift, and if I get Grimace, you're not getting it, Riley. Just wanted to let that be known.
Can I have it?
Really?
No.
Oh.
It's fine.
Can I please have it?
Sam,
You don't have to answer now.
Asking for a
You don't have to answer
Sam,
now.
awesome. Sam, awesome.
I'll wait till I see what toy you got.
Yeah, Steve, which one did you get, Steve?
Oh, I got the Big Mac cube. This one here.
Oh,
The big cube.
okay. I thought that was still a box. I didn't realize that was the actual. Okay,
This is the toy.
cool. Actually, I didn't know they had that one.
Me neither. I didn't see it in the collection before.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure you just didn't open it?
I mean, I'm looking at it. This is
No, that's
like it's
pretty much
pretty solid.
just
It has-
plastic cube.
You know what? I saw that one and I was like, that's actually kind of cute. I kind of want the burger.
You want to trade? If you get
that
given?
as well.
No.
Well,
On the
I-
I
Switch?
said I
No?
kind of wanted the burger, but I mean, if you get Grimace, like, you just got.
I mean, yeah. Grimace is peak.
yeah.
I do want to ask one question though, because we didn't get a chance. Marcel, how you doing?
Hey,
Good. I'm excited
nice.
about to talk about Nintendo
We never-
Switch too. You know,
You're always asking, but who
But
has
who
you?
has you?
I
Yeah.
don't
Wow.
care about. I don't care what I do. I want to talk about.
I don't
Nintendo
care
Switch
about
too.
me.
All right?
You know what I I'm going to answer this for Marcel. You know what he did today? He
What'd I
streamed the
do?
Nintendo Direct, and he didn't even want to stream with us, Steve. That's what
I
happened.
noticed that he kind of just went on the stream on his own. He didn't want to hang out with his friends.
He's
That's
like
fine.
nodding. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's right.
That's okay.
Who's the real villain here?
How's that a villain? It's my morning, my stream. What are you talking about?
Makes me feel like I'm like in school again, where my all the friends are basically like got to do something. I'm like, and I got left out. So that's fine. That's fine.
No,
You're having a party? I can't make it. I got this other party that I got.
Yeah,
I got my own. I got my own.
He was just radio silent when Steve put the request in our Discord. He was just like, nothing.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I was already on.
He
It's already.
messaged yesterday or 2
I
days ago.
did. Yeah, yesterday. I did yesterday.
I didn't see that. I
It
only
sounds
saw
like
the
a
one
lot
this
of
morning.
excuses.
It's fine.
No.
It's fine.
I'm surprised you're not
It's fine.
peeking right now.
It's fine. You know, it's fine. We've only known each other for 20 years, so it's fine. It's fine.
Surprised you're not peeking.
Poor Steve just needs a friend, and you're here making fun of another one. It's okay, Marcel.
You weren't good enough for something. You were there. I don't understand.
He just wanted his
Just
friend
wanted
that
to
you
hang
know
out
for
with friends.
20 years. Okay, 20 years. Anyway,
Next system.
Next system. Okay.
we'll be 80 years old.
They're slurping away. He's like, man, I'm glad I'm not into this.
Get a drink.
What'd you get?
Oh, you're muted.
muted.
You
You're muted.
yourself because you didn't want us to hear you slurping.
uh-oh.
There's a plate thing there, but
The government muted him. Grimace.
Uh-oh. No.
Testing. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I thought you were claimed by Grimace.
He almost came for me. No, this shake is really good.
Is it the apple shake?
Yeah. This
Oh,
thing is
is
next
it?
level.
Okay. All right. I need
There's a
order.
little like gold apple bar thing on the menu, like the picture for the menu.
picture,
I
it's
was
like
like,
Doesn't look good.
Oh.
The picture of the menu, yeah, it does not look good. Not gonna lie.
and I'm
It's a
like,
grind.
do
No,
you get that?
this tastes next level. No, I didn't get
Yeah?
anything
Okay.
with it, but this is next level. You
I
guys
mean,
gotta
it's
try it.
fine. And order McDonald's 2 days in a row. It's fine.
Oh man, I should have got that. Oh, I messed up.
Lord McDonald's right now.
But Steve, if you get Grimace, can I have him?
Yeah.
No.
Riley, I'll give you a Grimace. It's okay. All right, I got you.
Because I kind of want the Grimace. If I get 2, I'll give you 1.
Fine.
Okay, cool.
Damn.
Done.
Thank you.
So yeah, you guys want to talk about Switch 2?
No.
I mean,
No. Okay.
no, okay, all right, fine. Okay,
Well,
well,
it's after midnight if you want. Yeah. No.
we can start this out of
The
midnight.
snow outside and how we're all dying in April.
No, let's not hide the lead. Everyone wants to hear about this Nintendo.
Let's do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Switch to how much is it? 800? 500?
129.
One kidney.
One kidney.
$6.99 in a bundle, $6.29 in a just solo Canadian.
So basically, we're looking at just a little bit cheaper than the PS5 and the Xbox Series X was at launch in Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
So I must say as well, like this was probably the best like launch lineup I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
insane.
It's strong, very strong.
It's very
up
strong.
there.
Yeah.
But I do
It's
notice
it.
the two missing things.
Wait,
That's
should we
a
talk
news-
about like direct how it went overall and then talk about our I feel like we're
Okay.
go
Okay.
all over the place.
Okay.
No,
Fair enough.
That's
you
true.
know
There's a lot to
what?
talk about.
Take the wheel, Camille. Where you want to go?
No, what was like everyone's initial reaction to the direct, watching it? Over 1.5 million people watched the direct live, which is crazy. I'm actually
it
curious
froze at
like
one point.
what Nintendo
Crash the stream.
crashed YouTube before GTA 6 could do
Supposedly, the Japanese version was fine because I saw, I think, kind of
The UK one was
That was
fine
good.
too. I hopped
Yeah.
over there and it was totally fine.
Yeah.
Twitch was also frozen. The Twitch
Yeah.
stream.
Twitch and
was
YouTube.
frozen and YouTube. So it's like very interesting. Obviously, this shows that it was a huge event that everyone anticipated. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, where do you think this direct delivered and like your initial reactions? And I think then talking about like the system itself and the games. We
I
could
think
dive into
like
that.
right off rip, I would say this is a strong 9 for me. I think just the way the presentation was laid out was very strong. A lot of information packed in there. When it first came out that there was going to be 60 minutes, I was like, well, how much of a deep dive are we going to start getting into with some of these first party games that they're going to want to talk about? Obviously, Mario Kart was going to be there. So I was like, kind of worried that it would be, hey, we're going to front load this entire thing with here's the hardware, here's all these services, here's all these upgrades and to the ecosystem and everything. And then maybe we'll get 15 minutes of Mario Kart and then kind of rush through a sizzle reel of here's third party stuff. I think that what we ended up getting was way stronger, way more exciting to start it off with Mario Kart, get just enough information there to kind of get me excited. That little teaser of another direct coming up. Love that. Front end it with a whole bunch of hardware specific stuff was really smart as well. And then just kind of blaze through. Here's ecosystem updates. Here's third party stuff that is actually exciting and surprising. A new From Software game exclusive to Switch. Blew my mind.
Blowing.
Wow.
That
Insane.
just, oof.
That kind of screamed Bloodborne a little bit.
Hey, we'll do it ourselves. If you're not doing Bloodborne, we'll do it.
And we'll make it multiplayer.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
They get just the Thanos meme, and then just it ended strong with Kirby Air Riders and then Donkey Kong Bonanza. I think it really did showcase not only why you're excited for Switch day one and why people should go out and buy this console, but it's also leaving a lot of breadcrumbs of here's 2025 and beyond. Get excited for it. I think there's plenty to talk about, but I thought it was an overall great impression, and then just the stuff that we didn't even see in the direct that came out of the presentation, I think was really exciting too. I mean, achievements, we did it. We did it. Like, I couldn't be more excited for this.
They did it, Stan!
We did it. We manifested this over months and months and months. We're getting achievements. I mean, in the most broken and Nintendo way possible.
Only in 2 games and only through an app, but
exactly. Progress is being made. Look how long it took for us to get game chat.
Now,
Game chat, game camera.
You know what I love about the way that they've done game chat is it's a complete throwback to the microphone they had for Animal Crossing on Wii.
Yes.
You dock it right into the console and leave it on like in your living room, and I was like,
it was very like pandemic era type setup, which I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. I don't know if I'll ever get that Nintendo Switch camera though. But I think that it's I have mixed things about it. I think it's a cool. Will all of us use it? I don't know. But here's the thing. We all thought the same thing about whether or not we actually were going to be the ones on the balcony with the Switch, playing with the Switch in a handheld but we were all proven wrong then. So I'm willing to be proven wrong this time around too.
So do you think that the direct delivered for you, Steve? What would your rating?
Oh yeah,
be?
I think I'm the same with Steve. I think I would give it a solid 9. I think there was everything that we'd wanted to hear about what the Switch hardware was going to be like, minus the price, of course, because we had to dig around until they finally officially announced what the price was, but which was weird. But there was solid game announcements from first party, third party, and some amazing surprises from third party, including games that we heard about but had never heard that were going to be on the Switch too, which is awesome. And then with kind of the solid sort of releases over the course of this year as the launch year of the Switch. I do think I'm knocking a point off from being a perfect 10 out of 10 because we noticed there was 2 glaring things missing: a actual Zelda game, like in the mainline Zelda game, and a mainline Mario game. We did not get either of those 2. And I'm like, I'm not upset by it. I think I'm like, hey, Nintendo. They're going to announce whenever they're ready. But I would have
been a home run for you.
Oh, 100%. If they had a mainline Mario game in there, or like, I mean, with the Zelda announcements we got, that kind of makes up for it. I think with the Hyrule Warriors,
about that, and like enhanced versions of Breath of the Wild,
and we get Link in Soul Caliburs 2. We get Link in Soul Caliburs 2 again. That's cool.
Also, Link Awakening in those games, they're getting enhancements as well.
That's true. That's true. And like I was doing a little bit of deep dive in the Zelda Note stuff and what you actually get to do with it. It's like there's a lot more in there than I thought, and I'm like, yes. And
you were talking accessibility too, like help.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, with the navigation and basically with the companion app, because you have the map and it has audio navigation, and you actually get like. This is what disabled, like blind players have been wanting in open world games, and especially in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for a long time. And I'm like, it's weird for me to say this, but I think maybe Nintendo cracked the code and how to be able to do like navigation on a map with an open world game. And I'd be very curious to check it out. Love that there's actually going to be some new exclusive Zelda stories content, audio stories in there. So that's cool. Yeah. So I think overall, I think just it delivered on everything that I expected it to be, and with a few surprises in there. So a solid 9 out of 10 direct for me.
Marcel?
9 out of 10 as well. Of course I would love to see Street Pass come back. You know, that would have been a lovely thing. Or even some themes. Like I know we saw the UI very bare bones right now. Like it's just
same.
I feel like
right?
it's very the same of the same. Couple of things I do like as well is the fact that you could like a lot of features that we like. I feel like we were like testing out from the early stages from the DS with the game share. Like I remember like if you had Mario Kart and you want a game share to someone who didn't have it, you just like, oh yeah, just like locally do it and everything. And now it's they brought that back. Or the same thing with the camera mode. Like I know the camera mode is very like goofy, and hopefully we can use like the current cameras that we have right now. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like if you ever go to like an arcade and you're playing Mario Kart in the arcade game, you could probably have like your picture avatar above. Like I expect a lot of butt photos maybe floating around the internet now with people using the cameras and everything. But you know, it just adds the little excitement of like you're like, oh, I can dress up your character, take pictures and everything. Maybe even like scan a QR code if you wanted to as well. Like I can see different little attachments coming to this that Nintendo can sell down the road. Like if you have like a Logitech size webcam, just dock it into your Switch, ready to go. Like there's a lot of cool peripherals that could come out. But like the games on top of games is insane. For me, like not having and like just to pick up on like the Mario and Zelda, I was okay with that because like I think it was just overload. Like I think that's something you could save you could save like later on, probably like a Summer Game Fest, maybe, or maybe like in September and be like, hey, guess what's coming out like in fall, because like you need something else as well. But like I still understand why like oh, it'd be nice to see or like make a nice little sneak peek. But like I think that's something they're saving on for later on, because there's a lot coming from Nintendo. Like and now I'm like, where am I gonna find the time to do all this stuff as well?
I know, right?
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
Riley?
Oh, I would give it I'm also going to give it a 9 out of 10. And I think that the pacing of it was good. Steve Saylor made a good point about like, oh, like I was hoping to see like a 3D Mario or something like that. I think given how crowded it was, and we have Mario Kart and a platformer Donkey Kong game, I think they kind of made the right call in not including it in this for something that they could showcase later on, possibly. So,
am I wrong? Is this Donkey Kong game not being developed by the same team as Odyssey?
I don't know if they've confirmed.
I wonder, because we haven't heard what that team.
Similar to
My
Odyssey.
my only flag on that is that the cost of it is lower, is like less than
The
Mario Kart,
yeah.
which makes me think it is maybe a different team. But
Or could that be cachet behind Donkey Kong? I wonder.
Or because Mario Kart World it looks super big. Like there's so many features.
Yeah,
like I think it's a thick. As they say, the Switch is the same thickness. This Mario Kart World is thick. I feel like there's just a lot of content there.
Can we just take a second though to say how genius the naming of it, Donkey Kong Bonanza? Come on. They were cooking with that title.
And can we also take a moment? Nintendo said same thickness in their trailer.
Oh yeah. And what was it? Large, sturdy stand or something?
Yeah. Large.
What they were doing.
There's an edit out there on YouTube someone put together with some sexy music behind it and some slow-mo. But besides that, Sammy, what did you think of the direct?
It would have gotten a 10 out of 10 for me just for the Delta Rune, like day one launch for chapter 3 and 4, because I've been waiting for that. But because the stream did lag a little bit and that kind of pissed me off, that brings it down 1 point. But overall, like very solid. I was like,
that's not their fault. That's the Silk Song crowd fault.
No,
don't put that on me. Do not put that on me.
I have a theory. No, I have a theory as to why the stream probably failed because of there was a reported story, I think like last year, where people at YouTube were able to see like leaks because the videos were pre-uploaded. And because this wasn't a premiere, I'm willing to bet that they streamed this live and something happened with the computer that they were streaming it from. That's my guess as to why that was an issue.
Why did the UK figure it out, not NA? Because I think it was just our
or maybe it's because NA. Like I wonder how many viewers.
If I had like
the UK
3
had,
different streams or something.
compared to like
they had like 3 different video versions, because I would imagine the UK probably had like the pricing in pounds instead of dollars.
Or the
stuff like
Peggy rating. Or
the rating stuff. Yeah.
So almost 10 out of 10 is Sammy. Like I'm aligned with all you guys. Like for me, this was definitely like a 9 out of 10 for me. It would have been a 10 out of 10 if they gave me Ocarina of Time or some Mii's. But I think also like the pacing was perfect. There's sometimes in these directs, even with the one that happened on the 27th, where there's a long stretch of lots of RPG type anime games that are not for the main audience, and you kind of lose track about what's happening. There were very rare, I was watching along with Steve, there were very rare moments where me and Steve had chances to like really exchange words because we were paying attention so much to the direct and all the information that we were getting. I really do like how they presented first, like opening with, you got Moo Moo on a cart, man. I am Moo Moo is me. Like I love that it's keeping me so curious about what else to expect from Mario Kart World, and I'm looking forward to the direct. Moo Moo. Moo Moo. I should be Moo Moo wearing a Moo Moo.
Is that your name?
Moo Moo.
Oh,
I hate it.
I'm done. I'm done.
That was as rough as the game chat video feature.
Thank you.
No, okay. So this is the thing for me. At first I was like, okay, well, we're getting like they made those improvements, and Nintendo is very protective on how online works because they know it's a family console.
Right.
There's a lot of young players playing, so I wasn't expecting something as robust as you would see integrated like on a PlayStation or an Xbox, right? But I kind of like the camera, like Mario Party Jamboree. If I could see my friends' heads with like it's kind of cool. Like I think there's going to be a lot of memeable moments.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not similar to how I feel about the mouse functionality. I'm not sure how often I would use that after the release of the Switch 2.
And I like the camera feature as well. I just the fact with the demonstration was like 10 frames per second. It
That was
like,
tough
yeah.
to see.
Yeah, that was rough.
Chugging.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of,
My
like that'd be a cool
issue
way
with
to
this stuff-
stream. I thought that would be a cool way to stream like friends and family playing it
Absolutely.
on Twitch. But when I saw the lag of everyone's playthrough, I was like, ooh, I don't know about that.
My issue with all of this stuff is that Nintendo comes out with these like really cool innovations every system, every so often, and it gets picked up. They put a lot of emphasis on it. HD Rumble was a thing. They did 1-2 switch and everything, and then they kind of just drop it. And this is kind of the worry I have now. Maybe not specifically with game chat, because it kind of seems like an evergreen feature that could just be used across the board. But with stuff like the camera being integrated into a lot of first party or even third party games, and the other stuff that they were kind of talking about of building this ecosystem, I'm kind of worried that people will jump in. I don't know the price point of this camera, but I'm sure it's pretty expensive. But I just worry that people are going to jump in, invest money into this equipment, and then Nintendo will kind of drop off after a while. Because it's fun, jumping into Mario Party Jamboree and having those new mini games enhanced and everything. But then what, are they going to keep doing that for a new Mario Party? Is there going to be something for like upcoming games? Like I really don't know like how much I should be invested into this camera, into this like online ecosystem without some kind of like proven concept aside from a weird test feature. And then the other thing I really don't like about it is that it almost feels, and I know that they kind of touched on it, but that it's always like the Discord or Microsoft Team bubbles at the bottom. And I know that they can reduce them. Let me have an option where they're just gone. Because I think
they do. I think you do have
they?
like you could just play full screen and just have the audio playing. I think that was one of the things they showed.
I think like in one of the frames they have like your four friends and then the main screen with your game, and that did not have the camera on it.
No, but it still had the bubbles at the bottom, and they said that you can minimize it.
When I'm talking about a screen where it shows like everyone's gameplay at the bottom and they're in bubbles, and then it has like the gameplay up top without the bubble. So I feel like how I look at the camera and what it seems like in terms of the different gameplay, like through game sharing and stuff like that, it's kind of like an overlay. Like you could have your camera on top. Again, we don't know how exactly that will work because we didn't get a real demo. I feel like in tomorrow's Treehouse and probably in the Treehouse on Friday, today's Wednesday. On Friday, that we'll probably learn more about how that's integrated and if there is an off feature. But I totally understand that concern too, because, Nintendo is also known to do what Nintendo wants to do, and they could lock those features in without giving the option. Another thing, again, that would have gave
I just want to quickly say the camera is $50 US.
Yeah. Which,
thank you.
But
that's not bad.
It's not bad. And it looks like you could use any USB-C camera. So
That's fair.
I feel like there's options there as well. But I just wanted to say, the Nintendo Switch 2 tour, why were there no Miis? The people could have been Miis. Just give me some Miis.
True.
So I'm hoping that we see
You had to pay for that game, Camille.
That is true. Yeah. Why is that? Like, why is that not installed just in the system itself?
That is
I think I saw the price was like $7 USD, and I'm like,
make it free.
Why?
even bother?
Why? You make it free. Yeah.
The other thing with the Direct, like there was so much speculation and there were still a lot of surprises, which I think why this was such a good Direct. I really didn't see, especially in the Zelda community, I didn't see anything really about Hyrule Warriors. And a lot of people like Hyrule Warriors. And the fact that they were able to reveal that, I was like almost in tears when I was watching with Steve. I'm like, oh my God, it's Zelda. Oh my God, it's Zelda. Oh my God, it's Zelda. And I'm excited that they're still dedicated to exploring Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and that story
Sure.
and other elements, because we all know the world of Hyrule and everything that happens in the Legend of Zelda timeline could be very broken and you don't know exactly where there's a place in it. So I'm actually really excited for that. I do also think there's a lot of hope because they showed us an hour and 2 minutes of content games with the Nintendo Switch 2. I feel like we're probably going to get that fall Switch that I think it was Steve and Riley were talking about last podcast that will reveal that holiday release. And I think that's where we get our 3D Mario and potentially maybe a Zelda remake.
Where's Metroid going?
Or remaster.
Where's Metroid going? No release dates though.
Just I'd say probably I would say fall, like September, October.
I think it feels like a good fall, and I think they're waiting to find out when Grand Theft Auto 6 is dropping.
Everyone,
I think that's what I it's weird because it's like I don't know why Nintendo cares about it, because like
I think
Nintendo's going to be on its own.
I think it just takes up space.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to like get it out and market it, it's like good luck.
I think also, I mean, Nintendo, as much as they are siloed off in their own like little world, everyone loves their little, Mario games and stuff like that. They're really not impervious to a game like Grand Theft Auto. They are like Grand Theft Auto is the disruptor in the industry, where it's like, no matter if you're, a dedicated Switch player, guess what? If Switch 2 doesn't offer Grand Theft Auto 6 day one, those players are just going to go somewhere else. And I think even Nintendo understands that a game as big as Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to take their player base away, especially from a game like Metroid, which I will still say not as big of a game as a lot of us think it is.
Yeah.
So there's never been a GTA on a Nintendo system?
There have
remakes, right? For GTA.
Wars and the remakes are.
Sorry, which was
the big one?
Oh yeah, okay.
Chinatown
Wars. Because honestly, imagine like playing GTA on the go. Like the GTA is so involved, like with building your character. And I know it's probably not the first platform people would think to play GTA, but if you're traveling, you could have so much like.
Oh my goodness.
Stop.
With Nintendo Switch achievements? Oh, come on, Camille, stop it.
I think a nice run would have put GTA 5 and just like obviously like right now launch date just to see how it would go.
That'd be interesting. I think I could see a GTA 5, GTA 6 at launch. No, at some point potentially I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But
I would 2026. Yeah.
I would think that like Rockstar is historically more recently, but they have been a very good partner with Nintendo. And Nintendo publishes a lot of their games. There
was a big 2K presence in the Switch 2 Direct today. So
they published Trilogy and Red Dead on Switch. So I think that they would do. I don't know if they did LA Noire. I don't know if they did. But
I remember
I know it is. It is on Switch. I just don't know.
Yeah, LA Noire is on Switch, but I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. Did they do Red Dead and Red Dead 2 or just Red Dead? I can't remember.
Just Red Dead is on Switch, Okay. So I mean, like Red Dead 2 makes sense. Like I feel like they're probably going to make a real play getting GTA 6 on this thing.
Guys, the video is now at 2.8 million views. When I was first sitting here, it was at 2.7. Like it's crazy. I'm gonna have to look into like the records for a Nintendo Direct because I feel like this is probably the most viewed Direct.
Well, they had 1.5 or 8
watching it, at its peak.
I've never heard of that before.
Before the stream started as 1.1, and I was astounded by that.
Nuts.
All right,
that's nuts.
I do want to talk about this because it's weird that I'm the one that's basically bringing this up. But fucking From Software, Elden Ring with also the was it the Dust Bloods? Like
Dust Bloods, yeah.
Exclusive. And it's being directed by Miyazaki. Like
Nintendo dropped some money on these guys. They wanted that.
We're thinking that PlayStation's gonna buy From Software. They're gonna take like it's gonna be a done deal. Like that, they're gonna become exclusive to that. I don't think anyone had Nintendo basically having exclusive From Software stuff on anyone's bingo card. Like,
but at the same point, I'm not surprised that anyone did.
True.
After Elden Ring, I'm sure that every single like PlayStation, Microsoft, Nintendo, they were gunning for some sort of exclusive game from these guys.
Oh, probably.
You want the splash screen of made by the people who got you Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Game.
Although
getting into an exclusive game on your platform.
Although I did like I will admit, like, yes, okay, like the Dust Bloods, like, cool, awesome, whatever. Did anyone else think that it was going to be a Castlevania from Software game?
I literally thought it was going to be Castlevania.
I was like, is this
Painted glass
album?
windows and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like,
if I would have been like, I don't care if if my eyes are going to bleed from playing this game because of how inaccessible it is. I would have loved to have played a Castlevania from Software game.
I was actually waiting. Yeah, I was actually waiting for the music to like kick in.
Yeah. The same.
I was like, oh man, is this real? But
it was,
and
it's also a multiplayer game.
Never real.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. It's a multiplayer game.
PvP.
I think this is also a smart decision because even looking at the Switch 2, although very impressive, especially coming off the Switch, it's not going to match up graphically to like PC or like a PlayStation, right? And I think it's actually wise for From Software to say, hey, we're not going to put like you're not gonna win. Whoever made the decision, if it was Nintendo or From Software or a combination of both, saying you're not gonna win from putting an another From Software game and compete with the other consoles on sales, but what you will win is if you put it as an exclusive and we're developing this primarily for your console, like just for your console, the experience just for your console. I think that is just smart business. It was such a smart move. Oh my gosh.
How do you think graphically wise it does stack up to the other, like for example, like Cyberpunk, like stack up to the other systems? That's things we didn't see either.
I think, well, yeah, we didn't see much of Cyberpunk because that glitch kind of happens.
Just any game in general, I just mean that's the same as Elden Ring as well. So
I think it's going to look okay. I'm not expecting like high end super graphics kind of thing. I think when you're creating, when there's an optimized game specifically for the Switch 2, I think it's going to work well because we did see that we are getting Metroid Prime 4 at 4K 60 at quality mode, and then 1080 120 FPS in performance mode, which is, I think, even unheard of in a lot of games nowadays, and even not on the Switch. So I think if there's games that are specifically designed to be enhanced on the Switch 2, I think that'll work. I don't think that Cyberpunk let's say this. I don't think, let's not expect 4K 60 for Cyberpunk or for Elden Ring.
Exactly. And you know what? Sorry.
No, please.
Like when we saw the expansions for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, those look beautiful. Like that is Nintendo stylized for a Nintendo console, and it looks beautiful on the Switch too. I think those experiences, when you look at Hyrule Warriors, looks amazing. Those experiences that are built for the Nintendo, like Steve said, are going to look great. I think you're going to have a okay experience on with Hitman. It actually looked okay. 007's coming. I think it'll look okay, but again, it won't necessarily graphically be able to compare to the other this gen consoles.
You can kind of see it in the Elden Ring trailer that the graphics weren't like super high end, which I'm if you can perform well, then that's fine. Who cares?
And I honestly think the Nintendo users, they know who they are. And graphics, although, yes, it is important, and we were seeing that conversation really come up near the end, which I won't really say the end of the Switch cycle because they're still producing games for it. But we saw that conversation come up amongst the community. I don't think it's necessarily a top priority because when you're getting a Switch 2, you're getting it for those IPs. You're getting it for that Nintendo-esque experience.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't want them to be like capped up. Be like, okay, the next 2 years of games are coming to Switch, but then year 3 maybe look okay.
Well, I'm also curious to know, and I don't know if this is ever going to be like showcased in an official capacity or highlighted by Nintendo, but I really want to see what the benchmarks for the new processor is going to be, what that stacks up to something like, I think the best comparison would be like an Xbox Series S. I would love to see the comparison there in terms of like raw power, because we were talking about it off stream, but knowing that Cyberpunk is there, knowing that Elden Ring can run in some sort of capacity, even if it's, at like 1080, 30, that does open the floodgates to a lot of great AAA third-party games to just come to Nintendo
Final
Switch 2.
Fantasy.
Yeah. And
Also, like Borderlands 4 is another game I think would look really good on the Switch too. Like I just because of the style of Borderlands, and the cell shading, like I think it'll look really great.
I think this is what essentially what we had hoped for when the Switch kind of first launched, and that there was the possibility of other like studios and devs making games for the Switch because of just kind of like the indie boom that started off on that. And we saw kind of like a little bit of a slowdown with with studios announcing those kind of like either day and date games or just like these kind of games on the Switch, because we knew that like they finally knew like how like it wasn't as powerful as they would want it to be. I think the Switch 2 now being what it like at least up to par with, if it could be up to par with the, like Series S type kind of a capability, I think that's going to be the big kind of like, now Nintendo's entering the chat as far as like the like competing or comparing against like say PlayStation or Xbox right now.
Hey, they have an intense fan. They're ready for it. They have a fan in the back of it. Also, I want to mention like on the like the actual Switch 2, I do like how the cover goes on top. Like you know how like now the cover flap like on the Switch it flaps down and it's kind of a little bit flimsy. I do like how it's like it slides on the top. I don't know. That was just a really nice thing. I'm kind of iffy about the like when I saw the camera connected, the USB-C with the top port, how that sticks out. That was a little weird to me. But can we talk about, because we're talking console and the ability. So the Switch 2 retails, I believe it's $449 US, $629 Canadian for the console itself. Model. Exactly, the base model. And then the expansion comes at $499 US. That's with the Mario Kart World packaged with the Nintendo Switch 2. That comes at $499, which is $699 Canadian. That was kind of
digital code, by the way, not a physical card.
Digital code. That was kind of on par with what I was thinking. What did you guys think about that price and also the decision to not put it in the Direct?
Cheaper than I thought, but still expensive.
And weird that they didn't put it in the Direct, because we were all just waiting for like how much, and they're like, and this is all the information we're giving you. Goodbye.
I think definitely intentionally omitted. It feels like so. It's like throw it in a press release. You know, they'll see it there and decide, and they'll feel how they feel. But I think putting it on an image next to the console made it a little too easy to like, screen grab that and throw it out there rather than, so I think they made the right call.
Do you think that they were maybe deciding on price even like leading up to like even maybe this week? Because that was my kind of guess as to why like the price wasn't in there, was because they finished up locked in the Direct, but they still hadn't locked in the price yet. Because I think my thought was tariffs maybe, but.
Yeah, when we were watching together, we were like, "Oh, no price." And I mentioned this too. I was like, I think it's because of the tariffs, like and the uncertainty, because how the Switch is produced, even though it's part of it's mostly produced actually in Japan. In China.
China.
So that could have a huge impact if tariffs come down harder on China, especially because we're watching the US broadcast. Another thing too is, if you notice in the press release that I'm pretty sure we all saw, it does say suggest, like usually you have an asterisk next to the price and you look at the fine print, it'll say suggested retail price. It actually writes out in the press release suggested retail price of $629. Like they made sure to write that out rather than put that in an asterisk bulletin at the bottom. Plus, when it does appear as an asterisk bulletin on the Nintendo website, it's like 3 asterisks. So I think it is also really hard for any, if you're releasing hardware right now, to really set what Riley was saying, a firm picture of your full reveal of the console with the price tag, and maybe having that fluctuation because of tariffs. Right. I think that could definitely impact it. I do still think with what we're getting, that's pretty on par. I know the Canadian dollar is pretty poor right now, but that
even the yen as well too. The yen as well, dollar is bad. It's terrible as well.
Yeah. So
I'm with you, Camille. Like, I think it's tough because of the positions we're in. I look at this and I see a lot of quality. I do think that the hardware itself pretty robust and pretty impressive in terms of what Nintendo is capable of doing, what they're kind of offering to players and everything. But and it's super easy for me to say, yeah, I'm going to go out and buy it day one, but that's part of my job, and it's part of everyone's job here and everything. But like, it does inherently suck, no matter if we're looking at the Canadian price or even the US price, that a console and hardware manufacturer and publisher that's supposed to be out there for families is charging upwards of $500 for a new piece of hardware. Like, I do empathize with families who look at this and they're like, man, I'm going to have to explain to my kid why I'm not going to be able to purchase a Switch 2 for my kid this year. That, the people who are working two jobs, dealing with tariffs, dealing with inflation and stuff like that, and just trying to put food on their table, that really does suck. I totally empathize with everyone that's kind of upset, but that's not Nintendo's fault. That is the real world that we're all kind of living in, dealing with inflation and everything like that. So
I kind of feel I kind of feel that that's what was part of their planning with the game sharing feature. That game sharing feature is actually casting, and I'm not too sure. But I've seen many people mention that you could kind of cast it to your original Switch as well.
I've seen that.
So if you want to share, like if someone to tag along as well, because all it's just doing is just streaming that to that game as well. So there's no real power to the original Switch. So if like when we're like before, it was like, hey, buy a Switch Lite, buy a Switch OLED, buy this and everything. Hey, keep those original Switches. Hey, we could buy one at this time. And then, we can still play games together in a way.
Yeah, and Nintendo's really good at that. Sorry, Steve. I was just going to quickly add, Nintendo's really good at that. And I think even the decision where we were watching the Switch the Direct last week, and we saw 2026 for some of these titles, they are still making sure that, and this was their original messaging, the Switch 2 is alongside the Switch family. It's a part of the family. They never actually said they were sunsetting the Switch. I think we all just kind of, the conversation led to that because of the hype for the Switch 2, but it makes sense for the times that we're in. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, no, I was just added in regards to the tariff conversation, like literally as we're recording this, like the US just announced that there's like basically 10% minimum tariffs on everything from over 60 countries, including 30 includes the 34% tariffs on China, 20% on the EU, 46% on Vietnam, 42% on Taiwan, 24% on Japan, 26% on India, and more, which a lot of manufacturing is coming from that region alone. So that I'd be willing that has probably had a massive sort of impact on that decision on what the price
for
is.
Sure. Well, one of the main points of production for them is Vietnam. That's
exactly. Yeah. So that, and then also like I've seen a lot of conversation about like the $80 US price tag for Mario Kart World. And people have been sort of saying that that was what the price was also in the 90s, so it's not really like changed much, but I think it's just like we have to take into account, it's like inflation has been increasing, but also everyone's wages have not at the same time. So the gaming is becoming that sort of that high-end hobby that this is why I think like the two biggest things that I think Nintendo had to deliver when it comes to the Switch 2 was a good battery life and at least a decent price. Yeah. And I think with hardware wise, I think they delivered on all of it. That's why we didn't see an OLED on this. We see like an LCD screen, which is probably cheaper. It's the same sort of kind of design and thickness, and so it's a little bit it's lighter weight. Thick. I would probably imagine similar battery life, if not better. It's thick, yeah. And then there's and I think as well, there's a lot. I think there's probably a lot of like hardware stuff that we don't know about just yet. That I think that because they probably could have done the gaming PC handheld route and just gone with a high-end, graphics GPU and CPU. They could have gone with sort of the OLED. They could have done all that, but I think they wanted to keep that price as low as they possibly could.
Yeah,
and sort of hopefully be able to make up on that with some of the software. Does that mean like that $80 is across the board? No, we already know that. Like Donkey Kong is not going to be at the $80 price. It's so far, it just seems that Mario Kart is, but I don't know if this is a sign of this is going to be the pattern going forward, or is it like Nintendo sort of saying like these are the premium games, and then everything else is going to be kind of in that like whatever price that they kind of want to set.
That's my prediction. We talked about this
in terms of the 2 tiers. You
I think so, because like this is kind of the same model that they're following. If you go on to GameStop right now, Tears of the Kingdom, $89.
Yeah.
You have something like Donkey Kong Country Returns, $79. I think that Nintendo has kind of been establishing this price point to say, hey, Mario Kart World, that's going to be our tentpole, that's our marquee, that's what is really pushing consoles. That's going to be your premium entryway. And then, everything else, Metroid Prime, I assume, is going to be $79, Donkey Kong, Bonanza $79, and stuff like that. Kind of like, those are your regular games. Those are your regular first-party games. And then maybe whenever a 3D Mario game comes out, that's when we're going to see the bump up again. I'd be interested to see like where the disparity is, like say something for like Animal Crossing, or obviously another Zelda game would probably be 89, but I'm kind of wondering like the ebbs and flows between all of this, what more into the high end.
And I too, it's like, if it depends who's developing this stuff too. Like, I don't know which of their studios is doing it. I don't know what third parties are going to be kind of put into there as well. Like, it is very interesting to see the discrepancies in pricing.
Yeah, is a Sakurai joint $89?
Sakurai joint, yeah.
When we look at how they released Mario Kart with the season passes and how much you were paying for that, when you think of it that way, $100 isn't too bad. When you're looking at, say, for what you're paying for, like getting. Oh my gosh.
The booster courses you had to pay for.
Exactly.
It was like $30, I think, for the booster courses, but that's after, obviously, you paid for the game itself.
And then, right, so I do I can kind of see the reasoning. We also know that they didn't manufacture all these game cards yet, so they are projecting for future increases, right? And that's just a part of business as well. I think, though, this is very telling of the industry of the whole. There's been that conversation of, will GTA 6 be a $100 game? I think it will be. To tell you the truth, look how long GTA 5 lasted. And I think the value of GTA 5 and how long it lasted for those gamers that were on it is worth $100 investment, right? Obviously, I wouldn't want to see it go that way, but it's kind of telling of, yes, it's become this lifestyle that we do have to put a little bit more in. It's going to be interesting too, this rumored Xbox handheld, what price point that comes at.
Yep.
So it's just hard times all around. And, I just like the fact that they're still servicing Switch users and being able to come out with games and have experiences on that console that users could look forward to if they can't get a Switch 2 right away. Which, again, the Switch 2 they have, your Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is coming out on launch day. You have Mario Kart World. You also have the Zelda Nintendo Switch 2 editions for Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom as well. So there are games that are coming day one on release of the Nintendo Switch. I think it is worth it. I'm really interested too if we're going to see maybe rebundling of Nintendo Switch Online in the next year or two. Like in terms of what it offers, because there are a lot more features. I wonder if they're going to have different tiers, like more tiers, depending on the features of that game. So I think that's also open. Yeah,
I can see that too. Yeah. I could see them basically kind of maybe reorging the NSO Online and Expansion Pass, because it just seems that the more and more they keep adding to Expansion Pass, the less feasible or the less like attractive just regular NSO is at that point.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good call. And also, I mean, again, I can't even go into the premium conversation. I mean, we like in any other game, being able to, like in Mario Kart World, being able to like have access to a lot of this stuff, we probably would have seen some of those features been like in a season pass or a booster pack, and so we could have probably been paying for that price anyway. So, but the fact that it's like you pay for it right now and you get to play the game as is and without any additional microtransactions. We don't know, maybe they might charge for like skins, because we did notice that there was a few different skins for each character. So that'd be interesting to see how they go with that. But for right now, it sucks. I would love to still keep that $70 like or cheaper price tag, because in Canada means that every like that premium game is going to be $100 before taxes, which sucks, because it's like you could pay for like 3-4 games, and that's the entire cost of like all 3/4 of the console in and of itself. So I don't know. I think it's there. I think Nintendo made the best decision that they could. I don't see them. It sucks and it's price and it's sticker shock, but I don't think that I would have. I don't think it. I can't think of an alternative around of what they could have done that would have been better, other than just making it cheaper, which may not have made business sense.
Yo,
and when things get better as well, a price cut, makes things better as well.
100% too. But did anyone get June 5th as the release date?
I was about to say, yes. Good old
Hey,
Steve.
because you don't,
Steve, you did.
You don't second guess me. No one here second guesses me ever again. I called achievements. I called the Switch date. Do not ever second
Did you say
guess me.
actually June 5th or June?
I wrote it all down.
That's cool.
And I think he only got
early June, but I couldn't remember what the date was.
First, and then I went second, so I think that's why.
Oh, okay. I'll share that.
I went to Thursday.
I had June 19th.
Yeah, birthday, but I had June 8th.
I had June 19th. I thought it was going to be a little bit later in
I
June.
said 15th.
No.
I may
was
be
kind of surprised it's the
What's
day
the year for
before.
I think I went.
I mean, hey, you know what?
I asked
Kudos
the
to us for basically nailing the month at least.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah.
That is
We knew ish.
Yeah. So
But
we know what we're talking about right here.
A day before Summer Game Fest. Crazy, but go ahead, Sam.
Yeah.
One thing that's going to be, it's like a
Camille,
small
what'd you get?
quality of life update, but I'm so excited to not have
No.
No way.
Oh, no.
Did you pull it?
No.
Oh my God.
Riley, what do you have to say to her?
Can I have it?
No, what do you have to
Can I have it?
You have to
You
say
don't-
something.
you have to-
I don't.
the
You can
words.
keep the grimace. I just want the code so I can.
I know,
read
but
this.
you need to
There-
say something.
there's something you have to say to
Oh.
her.
Stipulation.
What was it? Oh, you're awesome.
Say,
You
say
also
her
need to
name.
make fun
say
of
it
me for 2
earnestly.
episodes.
I think it's just
Okay, I
please,
got
isn't
this.
it?
Okay,
Say
okay, guys, let me
please.
just build up for this. Okay, just
All right, hold on.
Camille.
There you go.
Camille, thank you. Camille, you're so flippin' awesome. I truly mean that.
I actually felt that. I legit felt that. I'm like, oh.
And you can't make fun of me for 2 episodes.
Whoa, that wasn't part of the
Oh, that
deal.
wasn't part of
That's
that.
the easiest deal I've ever made in my life. And I got grimace.
He
That's
agreed
so
to it. He
cool.
agreed to it. Thank you.
Just
Thank you,
won't,
Sam.
that just means he won't talk to you for 2 episodes.
What? Or you just won't show up
That's
for
a
the next 2
blessing.
episodes.
I can't do that, guys.
Except there's a slip. What does Riley have to give you if there's a slip?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like how everyone's getting in on this fun. Riley, you just have to keep saying exactly how you said you're awesome. You would have to say that for
For
every
every infringement. No.
Every slip, yeah.
Every slip.
yeah.
I get a solar
And I will
spotlight
record
on me,
it.
and I
I'm gonna say it. He just runs a pre-recorded like, "Oh, Camille, you are awesome. Camille, you are awesome."
that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
So are we doing a nug taste test or what are we doing here? Like,
Oh, I got a Big Mac. I didn't get the nug. I didn't get the sauce, but you tell me.
I thought
Yeah,
I was waiting for you.
Ella,
Oh, I
Oh,
just
you were
wanted to
waiting
see
Your
the.
nuggets are cold and expired.
She said, I have my McDonald's on the way.
That was a
she did, because that, you know, she didn't
I
say
didn't
no.
say I had my nugs on the way.
That was 50 minutes ago.
All
Yeah.
right, guys, let's
Go for it. Go for it,
What's
Steve.
the-
Go for it, Steve.
What's the sauce? The new sauce?
The nether hot sauce, right?
Yeah, Nether flame sauce. We got spicy chili sauce right here. Gonna
Okay.
open it up.
All right.
Yeah,
Nice.
grab a lukewarm nug here.
No.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It gives the sauce more flavor.
That's it. Yeah, get a healthy dippins here.
Ooh,
A good dip
more
right
than
there.
that.
That's a good dip.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Ooh.
All
Looks
right.
very barbecue saucy.
It looks very barbecue sauce.
A little bit.
It's a little bit between. Yeah, it's got some
Okay.
heat to it. It's got a little bit of heat to it. A little bit of sweetness.
Oh,
I dig this sauce. This is a premium sauce.
And that's the which sauce again?
This
so
is
this
the Nether flame sauce, the spicy chili sauce.
Oh, the spicy chili. Okay, because there's another one that's like hotter than that, I think, right? Or is that am I mistaken?
I think this is the only sauce.
It's the only Nether sauce. Okay.
Yeah, this is the Minecraft
Yeah.
sauce.
So
Okay.
in terms of McDonald's sauces and ratings,
Yeah.
how would you rate? Like, is that above a sweet sour? Would that be your first choice?
No, because I'm a little bit of a weirdo. I love the buffalo. The buffalo.
Buffalo Maine. Okay, I get
Over
it.
You know what? You know what rips? Oh, honey.
Honey does.
Honey does
Honey
rip.
does.
Yeah.
I can't do a full like stack of nuggies with
No,
honey.
me neither.
No.
You
You're
gotta
not
mix it
mixing
up.
nuggets.
Mix it up.
Damn it.
2, 3 honeys, you're good.
Yeah, and then you go sweet and sour. Or
But if you're
barbecue.
pulling
Yeah.
10, I think you can put away this spicy chili sauce. This is a
Okay.
good sauce.
You know,
Is it like how spicy? Because I can't really handle too spicy, but if it's a good between like barbecue and like just a little bit of a hot sauce.
Tingle in my tongue. I got some
Okay.
electricity in my mouth right now, but it's not too hot. It's not too
So
hot.
it's like a Jamaican -3 is what I'm guessing.
Oh, you know what? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. I like that description. That works. Okay, I think I might just do some nugs tonight, guys.
Nuggets.
Not
That's
sponsored at all by
Yeah,
McDonald's.
No.
But they did send it over. They did
I'm-
send it over.
Yeah.
I'm messaging them tomorrow. Like, where's our
Do it.
where's our nuggets?
Dude, they're sending all the toys as well. They were very
Yeah.
nice to me.
There's-
Yeah.
Come on now.
I can't believe I got
All of them, including Grimace.
You pull Grimace. That's awesome.
Look at him. He's so cute.
That is dope.
A little cutie over there.
I'm sending a message right now. Be like, hey, we just talking
Yo, everyone
about
needs
you.
this.
Where's my nuggets?
You're getting all the toys?
That's what they told me. Yeah.
What the heck?
Oh, cool.
Flip.
That's like the ultimate kid's dream, like being able to collect
I know.
all the Happy
All
Meal
of
But
toys.
instead, it's going to a full-grown adult.
Yeah, it's going forward to a nearly 35-year-old
I
man.
didn't say it was like fulfilled at a
You
later
did
date.
school that had all the McDonald's Beanie Babies? Like they were
Yes.
they were king shit.
The salamander.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Stuff.
yeah. So any
Like
final thoughts on the Switch 2, yo? Or-
Give me it.
Oh yeah.
Give me it now.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do want to say one thing in regards to the accessibility. So a lot of the accessibility stuff did get announced after the Switch 2 Direct. However, they did a few things that I thought were really cool to point out. The
Dragon
disabled, I was about to say disabled representation with Drag and Drive, which is the official name for it, not Drag X Drive. They did in the press release, they said Drag and Drive. It's wheelchair basketball.
Yeah.
And it's using the new mouse functionality of the Switch 2. Granted, it's not necessarily the most accessible way to be able to play it. However, I'd be very curious to see like if there's alternate controls where you can just play it regularly on the Switch without having to use mouse controls. But to be able to see that as like a launch title and to see disabled representation as part of the main gameplay, I'm so happy about that. Like, I don't think we've seen that ever in a game, especially from Nintendo.
I was only surprised.
Yeah, and then the accessibility settings that have been officially announced. So they have all the accessibility that was already in the Switch, which was they had zoom functionality, they had different color schemes specifically. I know it's not really themes, but it's inverted and grayscale. You also had button remapping. So if you're like, well, who cares about button remapping? If you're sick and tired like me of pushing A when you want to push B, or vice versa, you can remap it how I do it. So basically A is at the bottom where it should be. That's just me. So that's all that was always available for the Switch previously. But the new stuff they've added a text size feature where they have go from standard to large to maximum, which is so huge. Like it's actually larger than I probably would. I probably have to go down to a large because of like the maximum seems like too big of a size. And yes, I know how that sounds. Sick. Again,
Thickness, same thickness.
and for the very first time on Nintendo, granted, I wish that they had this at launch because pretty much all the other consoles have been able to do this since then. So they're not the first to do it. But there is an actual screen reader built into the Switch itself, which is amazing. We have not had that on Nintendo platform before. PS5 and Xbox Series X have had it since their launch. I think PlayStation even had it in PS4 before the PS5 came out. But this is the first time Nintendo has actually done it. And you can actually be able to not only change the voice from a male to a female, but you can also be able to change the speed, and also when you double tap, like I think it's when you double tap or when you push down on one of the thumbsticks, it actually can reread what was the paragraph that was being read, which is actually something that I have not seen and any other screen reader do. So I'm very curious to see how to test that out, how that works. But yeah, the accessibility definitely blew me away just from that alone, and I can't wait to be able to get my hands on it to fully test it out. But yeah, it's I was very impressed with what they were able to
really
put out there.
hyped. Your
Oh, yeah.
reaction
Oh.
was really hyped. If you go back and watch the VODs, it was actually really nice to see.
Yeah, even the Zelda notes with the audio
Yes.
navigation. I was like, did not expect that at all. And that might solve a lot of issues with being able to play those games. And it could be a potential thing that I would love to see in games in general going forward.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that goes, but I cannot wait. It's going to be great.
The animation in Nintendo Today, I live for. I live for every day going into my Nintendo Today app and seeing my Zelda animation every single day. I look forward to it. It's pretty sad.
Nice.
Kind of makes you wonder why they have the clock now.
I know, right? That would have
Why
been
they have
perfect
Amiibo?
if they put that in the
Why
clock.
every day.
It's
They should also just have like you be able to play music. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Grimace. Be able to play music in the app. Like it should just be like a music player as well. But anyways,
Mhm.
do we find it weird that Shinya Takahashi was not in the Nintendo Direct?
Oh,
No.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't find it weird.
No.
It was pretty
No.
packed.
Yeah, but
It
I feel
was,
like
yeah.
you would have at least opened the Direct.
Maybe.
Just to say,
I think that no, I see him. I see him as being he probably would have thought, no, the Switch 2 is the star. Let's also like have the team who made the Switch 2. Let's have them basically explain it. See that. But you get the point. I mean, I would love to see them at least at some point, but
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
I know things have changed since Iwata left Nintendo and Reggie. Well, not Iwata. But I think it's just interesting because I always thought they would put Takahashi as like that figurehead. That's like that is that identifier that like okay, we're getting the information we want because Takahashi's here. This is gonna be like big. But then now like I'm actually thinking about the other directs. They do have him kind of lead it, but then it always goes to Ayanuma-san or Miyamoto.
It's probably just this way to like not like how some people start building relationships like Doug. We see Doug, hey Doug, and everything like that. But like maybe he just don't want to be like I don't want to build any like relationship. I'm just here to introduce, and then I'm out back to do my business and everything.
But you know what? The interesting thing about Nintendo with working with them, that is their motto throughout. So even working with Ayanuma-san, they are not supposed to be addressed as like a figurehead. Like they're not. They're not in the status, although they are. Like we all know they are, but they're not. Like, and it's always developers and the team first. So it was just interesting to me because I'm like, where is he?
I mean, but like,
and then I was like, okay, he's gonna appear and drop some big news. And I'm like, no, he didn't. Okay.
I mean, you could have fooled me with the Reggie and Awada era. Like they were into puppets.
Yeah.
If they brought back puppets, this would have been an 11 out of 10.
Yeah, fair. I probably would have been cool with a
funniest thing was Jim Henson made, like the Jim Henson company made those.
Yeah, made those.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I think they probably still have a lot. Like that's one of the cool things about this presentation was that everything's like immediate. Like it's coming out this year or near launch. We only really got dates for Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong, which comes out a month-ish after launch, which is pretty cool. And then that demo that's $7 or whatever.
Welcome to our
Yeah.
But,
And then all the other
I
enhancements and stuff.
yeah, but like
Donkey Kong, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so like that's coming out. Like we don't have dates for Metroid and Pokemon yet. I'm assuming that's coming up. I would
Air
think
Ride.
we'll probably
Air Ride.
Air Ride is also that's another one coming out this year.
Do we think Sakurai's gonna start another YouTube channel?
He better.
I would love to see him come back and be like, I'm back. And then it's get to talk about Air Ride.
I would like if he got to do something maybe around the launch of Air Ride to be like,
That'd
this
be
is how I did this, like blah blah blah, like that.
This is how I teased you into guys thinking that it may be Smash at the beginning of this.
I so thought that. I was like,
A lot of people did.
the model is the Smash model.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and the star was like, did it have any color to it?
it was like
so it looked
punching
like it
the
was
star
straight.
activated.
Yeah.
I kept falling. I kept thinking it's gonna be Smash. It's gonna be Smash.
I know. I was like on the fence about it, and then once it opened up, I was like, "This is Kirby Air Ride."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like right into it. Really
Once
cool.
the propulsion device went onto it, I was like, oh, okay.
So here's a question too. Is like, when are we going to get the next direct? I know we're going to get a Mario Kart direct on the 17th of April.
Yeah.
Are we going to get another one before launch, or are we now have to wait till basically like September, which is usually their other?
I assume September,
June, or
I'll say September.
I think
like
we
a
would.
mini.
I would say
mini?
like
Mini
a
one,
third
yeah.
party or like a Nintendo Indie Direct. I could see happening, but I think in terms of hearing from like about Nintendo IPs proper, I think they may just leave that to a fall, especially now with how they're just dropping news in Nintendo Today, like big news. Like, I feel like they may actually leave the next big direct for the fall, and we get kind of like a third party publisher direct or an indie direct in between that, and some Treehouses information close to releases of the other games.
Yeah, 'cause we also are probably going to get a lot more info tomorrow and Friday when Treehouse comes up.
I think we'll still get a June-July direct.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, like, it's a good. They usually do one in June, so it's like they usually do June and then September.
What would they reveal? What would be the big reveal there, do you think?
I think. Well, I think at that point, like, the only game that won't be out is Donkey Kong.
Do a Donkey Kong kind of focus.
Do a Donkey Kong, like lead with Donkey Kong, like build it up,
Or
maybe
third
have
party.
Yeah, right. And then maybe do another third party touch up, and then maybe some first party stuff.
They may do Hyrule Warriors, because they've done that before, where there's like in-depth Hyrule Warriors directs that goes through the different characters. So yeah, I could see like Hyrule Warriors, is that July?
Just like a summertime, like a June, July.
Yeah,
I don't know how this shifts much. I don't know like how the placement of this is going to make things change, but I feel like summer. There's just like too much stuff kind of up in the air.
Can I give a hot take?
Yeah.
I am so glad that there was no Fire Emblem theme.
Oh my god, yeah.
But you got Bravely Default. I mean,
that was close, but like, you know, I like.
Three Houses still. I stand with Three Houses.
So do I. That's the only one I stand with. Everything else.
That was amazing.
I'm sorry. There's too much.
Really like Three Houses games.
It's coming. You wait.
Yeah.
It's coming.
When I saw Bravely Default, I'm like, oh no, here we go. That area where I'm not going to touch any of these games. But no,
that's Square Enix. It's fine.
It was good. But question now, right?
Yeah.
We know E3 doesn't exist anymore, but there's the non-E3 E3 time.
I'm gonna make this
Summer
a last
Game
question,
Fest.
by the way, as well. Because we started to talk about South of Midnight as well. So
Summer Game Fest time. Does Nintendo show up at Summer Game Fest or do their own thing?
I don't think they're there for Summer Game Fest.
Sorry, there at Summer Game Fest. No,
I'll have partners there, but I don't know. It's weird because they used to be very supportive of Jeff Keighley.
Yes,
like they were revealing Smash Brothers characters at the Game Awards
and
all that stuff. Like they were always present. Then they just stopped, and I don't know.
I think they're very supportive of him still. Like I do see that
they throw him some ad revenue.
They still bring him into like events and like sneak peeks.
Yeah,
and,
but not just.
But I think it's
they're
just
not like buying spaces.
I think that's just how Nintendo's doing they want to focus on like their I don't think it's a Jeff Keighley thing. I think it's just how Nintendo wants to reveal their information. They really want to own it. And yeah, I agree. I think, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get my Switch and also be in LA for Summer Game Fest at the same time. But yeah, I don't think they necessarily make an appearance. I think maybe we see Bravely Default at Summer Game Fest on the Switch too. Like maybe,
or Street Fighter 6, right?
Exactly.
Like that.
So I could see that, but
I think we'll get a lot of Switch 2 announcements there. I don't think Nintendo needs to be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's it. It'd be interesting. I hope. Right now, I'm still up in the air whether I'm going to be at Summer Game Fest. I just hope that if I decide not to go, I hope that there's not going to be a Nintendo thing there, because I would have been like, fuck.
I think you'll already have the Switch. You need them for.
True, yeah. You know what? I'll have a one up on everybody else. I'll actually get to play the Switch too while I'm on Summer Game Fest. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, it'll be out by then, so
I remember I had like a little heart to heart with with Rubenstein from Xbox because we both ordered the ROG Ally when it came out, and it was going to be shipped while we were going to be at Summer Game Fest, and we were just like reminiscing. It was like, Jeff, we want to play it now, and we had to wait till we got home, and it was so sad.
Also, I think this is just Nintendo saying they don't care what dates are out. They're putting their stuff out when they want to put their stuff out.
That's why I'm saying like they don't care about Jeff because it's like the day before. But
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, June 5th, $700. Save up your pennies now, Simply Loonies right now.
One more thing though. Double the storage, yeah. Double the storage.
One more thing.
I have one more thing.
And
I was gonna say
Express cards too, by the way.
Yeah, it has to be an Express SD micro
Yeah.
SD. So that's, I mean, all right.
That's pretty.
it's fair.
I was gonna say, since Sakurai is doing Air Riders, I should say. How far out do we think the next Smash Brothers is?
Depends.
I
on the
honestly
Air
wouldn't be
Riders.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Along with Steve, the scope of Air Riders, if it is going to be a contained experience with not that many DLCs, I think we could actually see a Smash Brothers next year.
See, do you think that they would go with the ultimate like Mario Party Jamboree?
Yeah.
Like DLC.
I'm convinced that they're just going to do deluxe of any kind of Smash Ultimate at this point, and I think that putting Sakurai on Kirby Air Riders is probably a smart thing because Sakurai can probably just oversee whatever this new enhanced Ultimate edition of Smash is. He doesn't really have to be hands-on as much as he was for Smash Ultimate, so he can just have his team kind of develop this in the back end. He's focused on Air Riders, and then as soon as Air Riders is complete and gold and everything, he can just go back and kind of oversee
focus on DLC content, new characters coming in.
Yeah, because really all you theoretically, I'm not claiming to be a developer at all, or even like in Sakurai. But with this theoretical Smash Deluxe, the main thing would be, hey, you're establishing licenses, you're keeping all existing licenses, and then you're creating levels, creating the music and everything. And really, Sakurai just has to be there to oversee these new combat mechanics for these characters. Once he's done that, he can basically bounce out and just oversee Air Riders.
I could see
them. A lot of the games that you could be like, hey, like Cloud, pick up Cloud and Final Fantasy available on Switch too. Like it's a perfect way to also sell off those games as well.
Pick up Master Chief Collection.
I mean, here's I think the why. Like I mean, it'd be cool. Obviously, you had to be able to get DLC and all that stuff for Smash, like 100%. I think it's almost a necessity to have a Smash on the Switch too, and here's why. Basically, it would have much better. It have much better performance for.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's a question of
rollback.
I think we know what kind of Smash are we getting?
Yeah, we just what Smash is like. Is it going to be a brand new one or just bring the one that's on the Switch? Like just upgrades and everything. And not only that, the voice chat as well supports up to I think it's 12 people.
12 people. Yeah.
12 people online, and then
12
it's 4
people Smash.
Yeah, 12 people. Can you imagine? Good.
That would be wild.
Okay, I didn't realize that was sort of like a given. So I was like that Smash was coming. So I was like, okay.
No, there's no way you can walk away from Smash.
Yeah.
It's
just like
they know.
I would have thought that they would have they've done already that they could. I mean, I know there's more characters. I guess they could have, but I don't know.
It's too much of a competitive
all that they could.
It's too much of a competitive game. There's so much of a community there that if they went an entire console generation by not supporting it in some way, that's a big loss for Nintendo.
But it wouldn't be a first, right? It wouldn't be a first for Nintendo to do that for competitive and not actually service
like
that
Smash
community. Yes, like you talk to anyone in the Smash community. There's
but they've never skipped a console generation is my point.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
They've never skipped a console generation. My thing too is because Sakurai did kind of hint that he's done with the series and all the lore around Master Hand and what that means for Sakurai as a developer for Smash. I do think if we were to get a new Smash, that wouldn't necessarily be Sakurai choice, and I don't think Nintendo's ready for that yet. I think if we were to get a new Smash, Sakurai wouldn't be a part of that project. And because Smash has been so successful and is so tied to Sakurai, Nintendo would just put out like a remastered version with new DLC content, and that's why I do think next year we could see that as early as next year.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably working on both.
Yeah.
You
What
think
if they
he's
just drop
you think
it
he'd
at
work on a
Christmas?
new? You think he'd work on a new Smash after everything?
I think he'd work on an ultimate port with like upscaled, like
okay,
with
yeah,
DLC
yeah.
and
I thought you
stuff.
said
I
like
think that would be
I thought you
easy.
said both. I was like a new one.
Well, I think he's doing it. No, yeah, that'd be
New?
special, I guess. But
That
yeah,
is
no, it's I think that's probably going to be the play. Just because like they've already confirmed Smash Ultimate's going to work on this thing. So you're going to do a reboot and then just have Smash Ultimate with like almost 100 characters on it. Cloud Strife, Sora, Banjo, like all of these iconic characters in it. And then it's just like, oh, it's a reboot and we have 20 characters. It's like you just kind of look like
can't do it.
garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think this is just like an easy way to do it. I don't know maybe it's like an ultra premium type of like upgrade or something like that. You introduce rollback. I don't know.
Rollback netcode has to be a thing.
Rollback. Well, it's weird. It's weird because if you look at the history of Smash, there was a point where in one of the directs, Sakurai's like, and we are looking to make like meaningful online updates.
Yeah.
I remember
throughout
that.
this, and they just didn't do it.
Didn't no.
Yeah.
And
So
I
I was
think
like,
also maybe the capability of it, right? Maybe they weren't ready to do it with the hardware that they had.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think with the Switch 2, if they're able to really kind of fix all the things that people wanted with online, they would be blown out of the water. Look how far Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has gone. That could be Smash. Smash could last a lifetime.
1,000
12 years.
Yep.
12 years.
That's these. I mean, it's like Mario Kart and Smash and even Animal Crossing. I think those are really like primed to be service games.
Yeah.
In like in a Nintendo way, not in like a give me your money kind of way, but in like a always adding content, meaningful upgrades, like appeasing fans, like continuously growing and evolving the game as it goes on. Like that's what I think they'll do with Mario Kart is like, and why they're doing a whole direct dedicated.
This is why they have skins and everything like that.
Why they have skins. That's why you can drive around and like do like events on the map with your friends. Like they're planning to do
dynamic
stuff,
weather
right?
and day and night as well. So.
Mario World's going to be here for 12 years.
To your point, Riley, I was going to say just quickly to your point, I think that's kind of opening itself up for something, a Smash model, because again, going back to what Smash Ultimate did in comparison to World, you introduce characters like, Link was in there, you have Dry Bones in there. You didn't see any of them in this direct. So either they're withholding a whole bunch of characters for some sort of like maybe the upcoming direct, or they're going to do some sort of like meaningful character reveals and stuff like that, which sign me up for, because I love a good Smash Ultimate reveal, character reveal. But like, I think that Mario Kart Worlds, if we're not getting a Smash in the next couple of years, I really hope that Worlds kind of fills that void of, oh shit, we're getting a video up on Thursday afternoon. Everyone's going to be there. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Master Chief and a Warthog? Is it going to be Link and his, Epona a motorcycle or whatever? Like, I want that. I want that back in my life.
Do you remember Smash?
This has to be the last point because we have to.
I mean, you can't. It's hard to fit news in when the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct just
all right,
dropped,
but make it quick.
But what was it? The Nintendo, Super Smash Brothers Brawl? Was that the Wii U? Right?
Brawl was Wii.
What was Wii U?
Super Smash Brothers for Wii U.
For Wii U and the 3DS.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just Wii U. Yeah.
Okay. So it was it was Brawl. They had that mode where you kind of like work down.
Subspace Emissary.
Yes. Yeah. I think what we're seeing with World, Mario Kart World, like they're creating single player experiences where you could continue to explore that world. I think if they do that also with Smash on top of, like, I'm not saying the main competitors will do this, but I think if they bring that back and like really make it robust, that could also be successful for having Smash last for like the next 12 years.
Yep. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure that they could upgrade it meaningfully. I mean, the Mario Party Jamboree example to me is like, that's not just like a Nintendo Switch 2 version. Like they've added entirely new mini games and features and multiplayer options. So it seems like if that is a real thing they're doing, it seems like an easy sell for people that have it or are looking to buy it.
Yeah.
All right. South of Midnight. Steve, go ahead.
Which one?
Yeah, which one? I'll start off.
Yeah.
I think this might be one of my favorite games this year, and if not the probably game of the year for me. I immensely enjoyed playing this game. I know probably on the surface it could be seen as kind of like a maybe just more of a basic kind of platformer with a little bit with some pretty interesting combat in there, but the world and the story and the music that this game has and the style, I think, is just absolutely incredible. I was hooked from minute one, and I played it for 12 hours this past weekend, and I don't normally do that. I can barely play for like 3 hours max at a time whenever I'm playing a game, and even then, it's like I could barely finish. I roll credits. I know it's a shorter game. But I put in about 15, 17 hours into the game. But it was so much damn fun to be able to play. And yeah, there was times that platforming kind of like sucked for me, and it just was frustrating, especially that last little like bit near the end for the boss fight. That frustrated me a lot. But I love being able to upgrade my weaves to be able to like to take down all the enemies, and I felt that the combat was fun in that regard. And and in the I'll also even say the accessibility didn't. Like, it did extremely well. I feel like that they kind of went, they did certain things for accessibility, push it forward, but they didn't go all the way with a lot of them. Like, there is navigational assistance with being able to like kind of have this sort of like strand that kind of like leads you through to where you need to go, but it wasn't like usable all the time. And it was kind of difficult to sort of like know for platforming how to be able to properly be able to do it. And it's also the screen reader that was available in the menus, but it wasn't available in the HUD. So it's like they went so far to be able to include a lot of accessibility we asked for, but it just didn't do it fully in the way that we would hope for. So I think I think solidly, I really, really, really like this game. Like,
what would you give it out of 10?
For accessibility, I would definitely give it probably a 7, but for gameplay wise, I'd say like a solid 8.5, almost like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
So,
ooh. Nintendo Steve 2.
Hi.
Hi.
I really wish I could echo a lot of what Steve's saying.
Oh no!
I think this is one of my biggest disappointments of the year, because I went in with such high expectations for this, and I think the reasons I did were all surface level. It was the way the game looked. It was the music that I had heard in trailers and everything. And those are the strongest parts. Like, I'm having a lot of fun experiencing South of Midnight. I think the story's really compelling. I love the world that they've kind of built. The music is some of my favorite in-game music that I've heard in years.
Agreed.
Like, I'm specifically going to go out and like put the soundtrack on, and like, the music is just something that you have to experience.
There's a vinyl available, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. As a game, this game is so surface level in so many ways that I am never compelled to play this game. The platforming is so like safe in so many ways, where it's just you're jumping across like small little gaps. You're never moving quite as quickly. There are these areas in the game where you're like being chased by this entity, and it moves at like a snail's pace. There's never any fear that's instilled in me. I'm never like, oh no, am I going to make it? Am I going to make this next jump? It's like, no, I'm just going to hit A. I'm going to land, maybe do a double jump and a dash. It's like, okay, combat, you enter these monster closets and you're just essentially hitting the X button on Xbox over and over, maybe doing a little dash away. Sure, you can do like work in some combos. You have some powers that can, pull enemies towards you. You can push them away, but it's so surface level because you're doing it over and over again. It's the same, like from the very first hour all the way to the end, with the exception of like some boss battles. You're essentially just doing the same thing the entire time. Again. There's nothing really like evolving the gameplay. There's nothing really enhancing it. And I think for a platformer, I really wish that it moved a lot quicker than it did. Like, Hazel as a character just moves really slow in between like that frenetic like traversal. I really wish that it was just a little more enhanced there. And I also think that the stop motion animation that they kind of promised in trailers and everything, barely there in terms of like the cinematics and everything. And I think that works for like a lot of people. The frame rate that you almost expect from maybe Into the Spider-Verse or something like that doesn't really exist as much as I stylistically thought it would. I think maybe they toned it down from the trailers we first initially saw to what it ends up being in the game, which is great for some people, because I know that's really off-putting for some players. So by all means, like I'm happy that they were able to kind of
like they had the option to turn it off, but then I agree with you. Like for me, I was like, well,
I didn't even notice the difference.
What's the purpose of having it now? Like,
well, I know the reason why they had that option to turn it off. It is for accessibility because a lot of that motion sickness could be.
No, I just sorry, I meant like I more meant like what's the purpose of the stop motion?
Oh, I see.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
And it kind of does work stylistically in cinematics, and certain cinematics I think it pops out a little more. But in the gameplay itself, I don't really see it all that much. So there's a kind of discrepancy there. I just think it was way too much of a safe game, especially for Compulsion, which I've never really truly enjoyed their games. Like We Happy Few, I know I was never really vibing with and everything. So to come out with this very stylistic interpretation of the Deep South and so many inspirations there and the lore and folklore and everything, I was really hoping that I was going to love this game as much as you did, Steve, which I'm stoked you did.
Yeah, but no, me, and I am told, like, that's why, like, I knew going into this review that I figured that this probably would come up, and because like the platforming and the combat is like they don't really evolve other than basically upgrading your powers or your abilities as you go. I will say I had more fun probably just exploring the world because there are collectibles to be able to unlock, and that was where I found the fun in the platforming gameplay. But I totally see what you mean. It's like there's not much that they evolve other than just kind of like some of the challenges get a little bit more challenging, I guess, as they go forward into it. But yeah, no, I totally see your point.
Yeah, and the game itself originally was poised to be like this 10-12 hour experience. Even by the time I got to the 10-hour mark and I still had maybe 3 or 4 chapters left, I was like, I could roll credits now and kind of be done with this. It's kind of overstaying its welcome at this point.
So do you think that the story, because I haven't played and I had high hopes for this game, so Steve, based on your take, and because I also get very I don't know, like I need to be stimulated constantly. So if it's very slow paced, it's hard for me to really feel like I want to play the game. Do you find the story kind of carry some of that weight, like compensate for that in a sense?
In a way, yes.
I would agree, yes.
The thing is that, again, I think it's a pacing issue where there's so many great beats, especially when you get across like the quote unquote like boss areas and boss levels. The bosses are immaculately made. They're super creative. They have like accompanying songs and everything. Every time I'm engaging in that, having the time of my life. Like that's the moment that I'm like,
Two-Toe Tom. So yeah, best boss fight in the whole thing.
Yeah. And between that, it's almost like a race to get there. You're just, I have to get to the top of this mountain. I have to get over there. And there's 2 chapters to get there. And in between that, I'm like, I don't want to be playing this anymore. Like it's,
I don't know,
2 or 3 hours to get me to the place where I'm actually having fun. And then it stops, repeats, stop, and then it goes.
I don't know. I think for me, I would agree with that to a certain degree. Like there was a few times where I kind of felt like, okay, I want to just move on with the story because I kind of want to see where like what happens. But I feel that a lot of the environmental storytelling, and then also like the storytelling within like the collectibles that you find, kind of really flesh out a lot of this world. Like to me, that was kind of the main feature that I enjoyed the most was the world, the lore, the story, the characters. I think, and the music plays a huge part. Like as you keep going, and as you're kind of like unlocking these sort of clues to basically to find out what sort of the kind of part of the that leads up to the boss, the music kind of like is sort of hinting at like what's happening, and you hear like this kids choir that basically like gets amped up, and you learn and you hear new lyrics as you kind of get more and more information. And so there's a lot of and then the music, like I feel like that's kind of a big part of it. Like yes, the gameplay it may not be as sort of compelling, but I feel like it like we see that a lot of times the game, like to me in games where the gameplay sort of overshadows the story and there's not much story there. I'm the opposite. I like this better because gameplay, I know what, like I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm going to I can breeze my way through the game, and I can collect as much as I can and be able to learn more about the story in the world, and that's great for me. But I agree to disagree with Steve, but I also agree with a lot of what you're saying too.
So like for me, I'll have to ask because like I love the story, music, everything. The gameplay, I did find it kind of just slowed down everything. And like if they're playing it safe, I have to ask, why did they not target this game for kids? I feel like if this was more a game that was geared towards like for everyone, that I feel that then I will understand the gameplay aspect. Be like, okay, it's a game for kids. They want to play it safe. It's a little more accessible that way as well, because it was just very simple. Just jump like going around like that's like that was.
Is it rated? Is it rated T or is it rated mature?
I can tell you right now, the language will tell you that she's she's like
very mature. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true.
I was like, this is not a kid's game.
No,
I was kind of shocked by that. I was like, oh,
there's
I thought this was
parts in there too.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's something that kids could handle in a way, and like the stories would kind of be neat for them to
that's what
also learn as well. But then when she started the dialogue, I was like, oh, this is actually this is not a kid's game at all. I thought it was more targeted towards them, especially with that's why maybe they went with that certain art style, and maybe that's why the gameplay played this the way it is, where you do it like it was kind of forgiving in a way. And I played this on like normal and everything, but I didn't feel any challenge whatsoever. But like I said, like the story is strong, music is the presentation, the voice acting does carry this game, but the gameplay is kind of like the weaker point of it.
Well, I'm curious, do you get to learn a lot about like American South folklore? Because I feel like that's definitely
there's a ton.
There's a ton.
I think it was more like I haven't played yet, but from what I'm seeing, I feel like it's more of like an ode to like history, learning about like the folklore, leaning in on like the world a lot, like you were saying, Steve. And I'm very much like, if it's gameplay, like sure. I rather deep dive into a world that is like well-rounded and multi-layered. So I'm really excited to learn about that.
But
my only critique on that is that, sorry, Camille, just one thing. My only critique on that would be if that was the case and that was the creative direction that they wanted to go in, I really wish that they cut out like half the combat scenarios, because it does feel like every time you're trying to get and learn more about the folklore, it's like go do these 3 monster closets over and over again. It's like, I don't want to do any of this. I just want
now do 4.
Story. Yeah, it's like, it gets so annoying and tedious that I just want to get to the story, which is very compelling.
Yeah, well, hearing like how you 3 are talking about it and kind of what Sammy was saying, it seems like then there was an issue in marketing and how this game was marketed. If it was more for folklore words, because I got that, learning about the Deep South, yes, although that obviously is important about South of Midnight and got me really interested in the game and obviously the protagonist. I just thought it was more fleshing out that world, but it is more action-packed and gameplay, especially because a lot of those trailers did show the boss battles. So I could kind of see like going into the experience similar to what Steve was mentioning and having a certain expectation of it and then kind of being dragged down. Whereas if they advertised it, I know Ori and the Blind Forest is definitely a different game. But if they advertised it more along the tone of Ori and like more it's exploratory and learning about the story, I think maybe the reception might have been a little bit better.
Could be. I mean, there is ways to be able to customize how the combat feels, to where you can be able to make it like super challenging or a little bit easier to kind of go through. I think that's where a lot of the strategy kind of comes into play, because it's like how to be able to use your powers and your abilities and what to upgrade as well. Like the upgrade tree is small, but it's not like it's achievable. Like I don't know about you guys, but I was able to upgrade my entire general tree and then 3 out of the 4 specialization trees. So, and that's based off of, and the other way to do that is you have to explore the world to try to find these kind of like glowing blue lights, basically, that kind of give you I think, what was it, the floofs, whatever they call them. They call them floofs, and that's how you basically can upgrade your skills and stuff like that. So I feel like that's probably where the challenge lies, is in the combat. But I do agree that there are times where it just feels like it's combat for combat's sake. I didn't mind it. Like, I think probably near the end, when I was like ready to kind of like learn more about the ending and kind of getting to that point, it did become a little bit tedious. So but that, to me, I sort of chalk it up as like, I feel that way in a lot of games. Like, it just I just want to move on and do that stuff. But I felt that the enjoyment for me was exploring the world, finding these, because you find these notes that are your collectibles that tell more about the kind of the at least the area that you're in and what actually is happening. And like, I think that should have been the selling point, because I feel like that the best way to describe this is it is an absolute love letter to the American South. And it should be played like it should be like played as such. Like it's not. I feel like that they're probably going for maybe a broader gaming audience, instead of just like kind of like us, the hardcore sort of gamers that are out there. I feel like that's probably where they were kind of going for, the audience they were going for, more the kind of the general gaming public with this.
Yeah, which is then that's why I brought up like, well, why did certain type of language? Then you could have had a vast more amount of players.
Yeah, they could have had more kids if they basically maybe moved it down to a teen rating instead of a mature rating. But yeah, I think.
Oh my god.
I well, that's why I was asking earlier. It's like, is it teen or is it a mature?
Probably because of the language.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you're more interested in the lore and the world and the story, I would recommend playing it. If you're more interested in the gameplay aspect, probably maybe that might be a Game Pass only game.
Game Pass game.
It's gonna be a Game Pass game.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Super Nintendo Steve, take it home. What are you doing for the rest of the week?
Yeah, for the rest of the week, basically, I will have my official South of Midnight accessibility review out by the time that this episode goes up. I think. Yeah, that would be. So yeah, make sure to check out my YouTube channel at Steve Saylor. We get that, and I also will be doing my regular podcast where I talk about the gaming news. I'm probably talking about a lot about the Switch 2 stuff that we didn't get to cover or see in the direct tomorrow. And yeah, that'll be my my week. So yeah, make sure to check out my YouTube channel.
Nintendo Steve too.
I'm just going to be reeling over all the news we got from this Nintendo Switch Direct. I'm going to be eating some nugs right after this. Verdansk is back.
Yeah,
Verdansk is back tomorrow. I am
Verdansk. Oh yeah,
day. I'm so excited.
No Master Chief yet though.
Because you know what?
Sorry, know what?
Nintendo
no
or
no.
Microsoft loves to fumble. So you know what? I gave them a layup. I gave them the easiest layup, and guess what?
You know what?
Just me.
Whoops.
You know what though? I actually appreciate it, because I think that if you're bringing back Verdansk, go OG characters and cosmetics and stuff, and then you can roll in some of the crossovers.
We hope so.
Well, if we got a summer showcase from Xbox, I would assume coming up, and we might see more Gears of War, so it might be a good time, or maybe a new Halo, or Doom's coming out.
Update on Gears. I feel like we're
for sure.
We're due.
We're due.
We're due.
We're due.
So right
best friends now that I gave him the grimace. He's like,
we're buddies.
Like, you're my best friend.
Camille, me, best friends.
Best friends.
What am I doing? Verdansk for sure. But I guess all the retailers have pre-orders for Switch 2 going live on the 9th.
April 9th.
So
9th. Okay.
Ship
that is more than just a console. That's a lot of accessories and a lot of games. And
by now, this April 9th.
So I'm very, very cautiously eager to see how the demand is for that. Not from a sense of I don't think people are going to buy it at the price point or anything, but I think a lot of people are going to want this thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be overwhelming. Yeah, I think it's going to be very overwhelming, and I think stock is not going to be as widespread as we had.
How early? I had to go to my local Walmart.
Oh, only online for pre-orders.
Pre-order.
Like GameStop, you can go in store. So if you want GameStop, go GameStop. If you're doing an in-store thing,
I will fight kids in the streets. I will fight whoever it takes. I'm getting a Nintendo Switch too. It doesn't matter.
It's exciting. It's an exciting time, and I'd assume that everyone here, Steve, it's so exciting. Stevie Monday's fighting kids in the streets. It's an exciting time to be alive.
He's starting to train.
Kids.
He's practicing his dodges.
Yeah.
That's why he needs all the Minecraft toys, so you can just kind of throw them away as distractions. So kids.
No, it's to get this and just.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Literal smash. Okay, got it.
Oh my god, Sammy,
you gotta do the link. You gotta do the link hi-yahs when you're doing it. Yeah, that'll be good.
And then when he gets hit, he's like,
yeah, World Star. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
So no, just looking forward to seeing how that goes. I think it's going to be pretty crazy. But I survived the PS5 launch, so I think we'll be okay.
Kudos to
Figure
that.
it out.
That was a rough.
That was rough. Yeah,
which I got at Walmart, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man,
I initially bought it at
Let's
the
find our
Canadian Superstore.
We're best friends.
Best friends.
Best friends for 2 more episodes.
2 episodes. Yeah, 2 episodes.
That's all. That's all we have.
No,
Unfortunately,
we're not going to see Riley for 2 episodes. Sammy, go ahead.
Marcel, you and I have a lot of interviews coming up, so we're focusing on a lot of content for the network. Hopefully some video projects, and in the meantime, trying to play as many games as I can.
Too many
games.
Too many.
And I'm in like 2024 archive too, just still trying to catch up on certain things. So
Same.
Good luck.
I just finished Silent Hill 2 the other day because damn, that took a while. But anyway,
Camille.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be watching the Treehouse specials that are happening tomorrow and Friday. I'm probably gonna be glued to my computer and my screen, and reactions.
I'll be there.
Direct are up on my YouTube, and also like Adam's birthday's tomorrow, but I mean it's for dance, so I don't know.
Whoa! Happy birthday, Adam. Hey.
I don't know what he's gonna do, but I know I'm gonna be in for dance, dropping with my buddies.
Wow. Well,
I really admire the dedication, honestly.
Stop. Okay, right.
No, I just think she's on point.
Oh my god, could you imagine having Grimace as a charm on your on
It's
my
working.
HDR?
I'll take Adam out for his birthday, Camille. God damn it. That's what I'm doing this week.
I told him to play with me. He won't play he won't play Call of Duty. He's not into
It's his birthday.
He only likes zombies. Forget that.
All right.
well, hopefully Adam doesn't listen to this.
Everyone's been waiting, okay, for Verdansk. This is a moment of a lifetime.
Fault they picked that date.
No, I'll probably eat some cake and then play Verdansk. It's yeah.
You're just taking a slice of cake for his birthday. Be like, yeah, thanks for the cake. Bye.
I'm gonna buy the cake.
Oh.
It's gonna be a Dairy Queen cake. Don't tell him.
Yummy.
Oh, okay.
Those are the best
You
cakes.
hear from the other room, Dairy Queen cake.
For me,
that. From the other room.
more Nintendo. That's it for me. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and we'll see you all here next week. Bye.